party time. P-A-R-T. Why? Because I gotta.
Alright guys, welcome back. So I'm trying to do the layout and design right now of this filtration system on the tank, and boy, I tell you what, I am quickly running out of room. One of the problems underneath the stand, obviously it's something long before me, but they've got this center support system right here, and obviously we just continued that with the little miniature stand below the main stand, which you saw in the previous videos. So we did gain some space, obviously, because we raised this thing up 10.5 inches. I've got the boards already in place, but the inside dimension here is 44 by 44. So I'm not, I don't have the capability of putting in a long sump filtration system. I'm really kind of, locked down to this area here, this 44 by 44 on both sides. So I do have those two glass tanks. They're outside right now. They're 36 by 36 by 20.5 tall. And I think what the concept right now is, I'm going to come from coast to coast right there. Water's going to be coming this way, coming down these two pipes right here. Going to do a hard 90, go right in. And I think this glass box is going to be the like a stage one. I'm going to try to redesign it a little bit and incorporate it so they can hold 9 filter socks. I think they're 16 inches tall, 6 or 7 inches wide. I can't quite remember the exact diameter, but they range 100 micron, 150, 200, 250, 300. But we're going to put that right here. This will collect all the debris coming from the coast to coast. From here, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill through the glass, which you're going to see that in an up-and-coming video, 4 2-inch holes. We're going to go from here over to the next one. Here is where I'm going to put the other tank, and I think I'm going to do like a planted tank. So the water is going to flow from here to here, and well, this is where it gets a little tricky, because what I want to do is I came across these guys, oh my god, probably 20 years ago, and I've got 3 of them. I gave them a bath. They still need to be polished and cleaned up, which I'm going to show you that here in a little bit. But these are 24 by 24 by 36 tall. They're pretty nice. They're actually rounded on the edges here. But I think what we're going to do is I'm not for sure if I'm going to use the main driving motor and feed these, but 2 of these are going to be the fluidized bed, probably going to be a K2 media, right? It's going to go through both of these. But the third one will be filled with lava rock to do its filtration. Having a tank this big obviously is requiring a lot of different components. These guys right here, which we just talked about, there's going to be 3 of them. I'm trying to put the catwalk in right across the back so I can actually access the top of the tank easier. I've got this filtration little system paper filter right here, which I got from Josh over at Ohio Fish Rescue. Make sure you check out their videos. This is one of the ones that came from the Bellagio tanks, Las Vegas. They picked up a pair of them. They're 1,800 gallons a piece. There's the one from the one tank, and there's the other one right there from the other. I will be incorporating this into the system. So this is the fun. This is the layout and design of a filtration system, and this is not no little 55-gallon tank. So we got to do this one right. So stay tuned, a lot more coming up. Okay, we brought in the first tank. We're going to set up a workstation right here. We're going to drill out these 2 tanks, get them prepped for the 1,000-gallon aquarium. Well, it was pouring rain outside, and I wanted to take the boards outside and paint them, but obviously that's not going to happen. So I came up with just a quick makeshift table over here. I had to pull the boards out. I actually had to number them. There's number 7. Because every one of these is a custom fit to where they have to go. So didn't want to screw that up. You can see right there I've got it written on the wall just so I don't forget. But next step is paint the bottom so we can get rolling with this filtration system. Here we go. All right, the boards are painted, looking good. Look at this. Looks absolutely fabulous. We'll slide those under the stand next, and that should make it so we can move on with the filtration system. But what helps painting is this guy right here, a chocolate cherry martini. Woo! That makes painting real fun. Right? All good with you too?
Yep. Teeny Tuesday.
Which is what?
Martinis on Tuesday.
Beautiful.
She is so coy.
I love it.
Here we are stuck at home, quarantine. We're getting it. On to the next step.
Day 13.
Day 13. We're out. All right, so I threw the first 4 boards in there. But now that I'm starting to think that I want to put a 2x4 right here between the 2 plywoods. Because I don't want there to be any kinking or any bowing. I'm trying to make it nice and solid underneath this thing. So I went ahead and cut 4 boards. It just so happened to be 21 inches. We're going to go ahead and paint those, throw them underneath, screw them together, and this should make it a nice and strong right here. So let's go ahead and knock these out. Oh, what are you doing?
I need you, goof.
Oh, you're painting?
Yes.
Look at that, guys. I've got the Superman here. He's helping me paint. You like painting?
Yes.
You're doing a good job. We got to get this done. We got to get the fishies in the tank. Wow. Good job.
Bulkhead.
All right, just to recap, the boards are now painted. So it starts off like this. I'm actually taking 2 C-clamps. I've marked a 2x4 to find the center of it. And then screw this thing down like so, and then that holds the other board in place. So now everything will be nice and true. That's it. Simple as that. All right, guys, we're preparing to drill these tanks, but I just want to kind of go over a couple things real quick, kind of like a bulkhead 101. Most of you guys know this, but you got a schedule 40 bulkhead, and you got a schedule 80 bulkhead. The schedule 80 is obviously the gasket's like twice the thickness. It's more like an industrial grade. It's heavy duty, and these will last forever. I mean, these are pretty good. I mean, they're going to last, but you can definitely see the difference between the 2 bulkheads. Now, these are both 1 inch. They come in a lot of different configurations. So when they say slip, that literally means the 1 inch pipe can slip right in through the back and through the front. When they do thread slip, obviously you have this attachment here for 1 inch pipe. You thread this in, and the pipe goes in. So this is a thread slip. So in our situation, this is where it gets a little tricky. When you have a schedule 40 bulkhead and a schedule 80 bulkhead, obviously in this case they're both 1 inch, but this outside diameter is crucial because the OD on a 1 inch is completely different than that of a schedule 80 bulkhead. So literally I made some notes here. So just by looking at this, schedule 40, the outside diameter is 1 5/8 inches. So you would use a 45 millimeter diamond hole saw bit. If you had the schedule 80, the outside diameter is 1 7/8 inches. Even though that's close, look at this. You're using a 48 millimeter diamond hole saw bit. So if you drilled that hole right there with the 45 millimeter and thinking you're going to slip in a schedule 80, it's not going to fit. So in our situation, we're down here. We're actually going to be doing 2 inches, and here's our schedule 40 bulkhead, its outside dimension, meaning right here, left to right, is 2 3/4. So we would use a 75 millimeter, which actually measures 3 inch. In this case, this is it right here. So this is a 75 millimeter diamond hole saw bit. If we were doing schedule 80, notice how its OD is more, 3 1/8. You'd use an 85 millimeter, which is 3 1/4. So you got to be very careful when you're ordering these hole saws that you don't get stumped and drill the wrong hole. Where it gets a little bit more unique, they actually sell a drill press attachment. But the drill press attachment, and we're going to show you a picture right here, which you're seeing, it can only take up to a 65 millimeter hole saw. Well, just a few seconds ago, I pointed out that this is a 75 millimeter. I can't put this in the drill press attachment. So this is where it gets a little scary. So on this tank that we have, this is 36 by 36 by 20 and a half. We want to use both of these underneath the 1,000-gallon tank. Well, I want to put in, I don't have the third and the fourth bulkhead here yet, but I'm looking at 3 holes here and possibly a fourth over here. Now yes, you could take this, put it in a drill, bring it on an angle, and drop it down inside, and you could drill this hole. I'm being overcautious here because I want to put 4 holes here, which is going to be coming in, obviously, well, actually, the water's coming in from the island overflow, but once it goes through these 9 sock filters, this tank is going to be attached to that tank. So I'm going to have 4 holes in this tank, 4 holes in that tank, and then eventually there's going to be possibly 4 more holes coming out of the side of that tank. So 4, 8, 12, we got 12 holes, and I guess where I'm kind of going with this is, I'd hate to be doing this freestyle.
Now you have to ask yourself one question. Do I feel lucky? Well, do ya, punks?
Bringing it in on an angle, and we're going to show you how we're going to do this. I'd hate to get to the very last hole and something maybe happens where I crack the glass and one of these is destroyed. So I'm trying to be over cautious. So I can't order the drill press attachment. I'm a little nervous doing a freestyle drill with a normal drill. So what we're doing is we're coming up with this thing right here. I pulled out the drill press. Now, I'm actually going to tear the drill press apart. And I think I've come up with an idea. I'm getting ready to pop a hole in this board right now. It's womanized board, 2x8. Just so happens, this outside diameter is just a hair bigger than this right here. I'm going to take the drill apart, meaning this bottom pipe and the plate, and I'm going to put this inside this hole. And we're going to come up with a kind of a goofy contraption here where this drill press will be over top of the aquariums, and we're going to set up to drill 12 holes. So that's where we're at right now. We're getting ready to drill this out, make this up, and come up with a crazy setup. This is not something that you would normally do, but my hands are kind of tied. The reason why we're tearing the drill press apart is this right here. So from the pipe to the center line of the hole saw is about 6.5 inches. We can't get the drill press in far enough into the tank. Even if I were to pivot the drill press from the plate and turn it 90 degrees, you're going to see here in a second. If I brought the drill press in from the back, so say if I put the drill press here and I pivot it 90 degrees, my 6.5 inches is right there. So we're still not in deep enough. I need to be 8 3/4 to center line. If I go the other direction, from the top of the tank, obviously we're down 11 3/4 of an inch. So even once again, once the drill press comes in and that pipe bottoms out right there, the hole saw is at 6 1/2. We need to be way over here. So it doesn't work from the top of the tank, it doesn't work from the bottom of the tank. So with that, we're tearing this thing apart. Alright guys, so there's the bottom portion of the drill press, there's the pedestal and the table. And what I did was I took a 2x8, there's the top portion of the drill press, and I drilled a hole right through here. I had to kind of chop out the back of the board just a little bit because of the mounting bracket for the motor.
This guy's incorrigible.
But that's it right there. So now we're going to take this thing, flip it upside down, and we're going to make kind of like a tabletop right above the glass tanks. All right, just a quick update. We had to raise it up 3 boards, 4 1/2 inches, and there's the diamond hole saw bit. So we're actually there. Tank will slide right up underneath, and go ahead and mark these out. We're going to start popping some holes. But man, there's a lot going on right now. I've got this obviously going on. I have to drill the 2 tanks. I'm getting ready to tear down this wall because it's time. I need to start getting things moving. So all this stuff's got to come out, pull the drywall down, knock out all these 2x4s because I want to start framing this out. And I kind of need to get it rolling because I need to get this wall down here because I want to start putting a filtration system together. And like I said, we're going to put the one tank there to the other tank there, but now I've come up with this tank that's right down here, which is a 75-gallon tank, which I normally use for my comes off my RODI system. Normally I use obviously the good water. I've got 200 gallons of obviously perfect water for the saltwater systems, but most people put their waste down the drain. But here, for the last 12 years, I've been actually collecting that wastewater, put it at temperature, which is the bottom number, and I use that wastewater for my freshwater systems. I mean, if you think about it, it's already gone through the filter that's already at the other end of the house, which is 1, obviously 2, 3, 4, and then the 5th one. Well, why would you throw that water down the drain? Well, for me, it's been working out great. So I normally take that water and go all the way to the other end of the house and use it for the 380 and the 240, which is right over there. But I'm starting to realize I'm a real pack rat when it comes to aquatic stuff. This basement is covered with stuff. But anyways, that tank that's right there, I think I'm going to put it right here. So obviously the water is going to enter through the 9 socks coming from the box, in, down, goes here, through the plant tank, out the plant tank, into that 75-gallon tank, and this is going to be the main chamber where the driving motor for the entire system goes. So all that being said, I need to get the wall in so I know exactly where to put the tank and start locking these things in. And then obviously put the 3 chambers over here. There's a lot going on. We're obviously working on the 1000, the 720 compromise, and we kind of talked maybe a little bit about it, but there's a 3rd tank hiding right there, and that's the 900-gallon saltwater tank, which is upstairs in the main floor, which we're going to talk about later in time. So obviously this is where the filtration system is going to go for the 900-gallon tank. You're going to see that in up and coming videos. And then obviously over here is going to be the quarantine system. So we're going to be building that rack here real soon also. This chamber here is actually going to go from here into here. This is a 8 sock filter, which is going to be the first stage for the saltwater system upstairs. So this goes inside of this, and both of these will go way up here as the lines come through and drop in. You're going to see that real soon. All right, so a lot of projects are going on. Let's get these drilled.
You were good, kid, real good. But as long as I'm around, you'll always be second best, see?